What is going on in the eclipse season starting March 14th? That is what we're going to figure out in this reading. If you are new here to my channel, my name is Debbie Dubois. Welcome in. We talk about empowerment, spiritual awakening. We talk about the new love relationship blueprint on this channel, and we're really glad to have you here. I just felt the need to pull cards and find out what's going to happen in this eclipse season. We're going to look at the time period between, say, March 14th, when we're seeing the lunar eclipse come in, through, I believe it's March 29th, where we see the partial solar eclipse. I really have termed this period of time as the Venus retro gauntlet, and that is because Venus retro has always been really challenging for me. I don't know if it was challenging for you, but in the past Venus retrograde, this is how challenging it's been for me. I broke my wrist on the day it started, and I got my cast off on the day it ended. It was painful. It was facing a lot of dark shadows. It was a really challenging period. What's interesting is so far this period of time has not been nearly as challenging as it is almost like a test. So it's almost been like a lot of stuff is still coming up, revisiting some of the circumstances. I notice very heavily in relationships, but also in just everyday life. The things that I've found challenging, yes, they're revisiting. But what's really interesting, and I want to know if this is you, are you feeling you're a different person now than you were maybe 2 years ago? I'm trying to think of when that last Venus retro is. I'm not an astrologer, and I don't claim to be one, but I do tend to look at important transits and how they affect things. In Venus retro has always been really big for me, but it's also the eclipse season. I guess there's some planets that are coming in and out of Mercury, or not Mercury, Mars. So there's some really intense energies coming through. And I have felt so far, because we're almost halfway through March. We're getting to it's like the 12th right now as I'm recording this video. We've got 2 days until the lunar eclipse. The reason why I'm calling it a gauntlet is I almost feel like a lot of us have been practicing going through this portal. So I see the instrument swinging, and it's like, okay, you stop here, let the thing swing, take a step forward, move over to the right. And it's like, if you've done a really good job facing things, it's like you get through that one gauntlet and you're like, oh, phew, that felt good. I did that. It's like trying to accomplish something, but every once in a while you get nicked. It's like, ow, okay, I get it. But overall, so far, even though like the energies have been super intense, people have been reporting exhaustion. I know myself, I'm used to going to the gym once or twice a day, every day. I go straight uphill on the treadmill. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on level playing ground here. And I'm like struggling to get through like a mile or mile and a half when I'm used to doing 3 miles. It's been real when it comes to the physical aspects. But I'm very interested to know, what have you been experiencing during this gauntlet? Have you been getting nicked? Just let me know in the comments below what you're experiencing. So far, I got to tell you, even though things are coming up, it hasn't been as bad as I expected. So that's how we'll start this reading. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the Zodiac 180. Those of you who are familiar with my channel, you know that Intuit Oracle is the business that I have with Kimberly Aria. We create cards that anyone can read. There's keywords on them. No one knows your situation better than you do. And when you pull cards for yourself, it's like, the words that pop off of you, words that apply and words that don't. And so it's so much fun. It's fun for me. I love getting like the physical manifestation of my inner knowing in actual pictures. It's like I'm creating this movie and I'm manifesting it physically in these cards. So we're going to start with, I am winging this reading. I felt really called to do it. I did what I did a love reading today, and it just pressed me. It's like, go ahead and just pull some cards on this because I'm very curious. Kimberly and I, it's interesting. We were pulling cards on the twin flame path, which we both have been engaged. Almost everyone I know is a twin flame or on the counterpart journey. So my inner circle, we're all counterparts. We're all comparing notes with each other. But she pulled some incredible cards. She got within a few days Eclipse, and then she was reading some other cards. And then we read another row of cards, and the end was Eclipse within a few days. We're like, are you kidding me? This is the kind of magic that happens with our cards, and we do like to read them together. So this is what the message we were getting as we were reading these cards was, this lunar eclipse is going to kick off something, and it was within a few days. We just read these cards yesterday. Within a few days, we got that. And then the bookend was within a few days, the eclipse. We're taking that as a symbol that this eclipse season has something really significant to do with counterparts. This is not just a counterpart twin flame reading, though. I'm assuming that I will probably put that in the title so that people understand. This is a major area of focus when it comes to the eclipse. And first card I got was Optical Illusion. I'm going to pull some cards while I share some of my thoughts, and we'll do a tabletop reading. We'll go to the overhead view so you can see all the cards. But so some of the information that's been coming in for me in my conversation with my inner circle, and we're talking like Hamish Bartholomew, we're talking Kimberly Aria. I've got a couple of other people that you might not be familiar with. The other two have been on my channel, so you may actually know them. That's why I'm bringing them up. We're beginning to realize that the shift, the ascension, you call it the ascension, you call it shifting to higher vibrational frequencies, you call it getting out of the crazy upside down and returning to the organic universe, however you want to term it. Counterparts is an extremely important part of this. Listen, I just was looking at a video, comments came up for a video that Kimberly, she channeled through some information. I'm going to link that below. It's about the importance of twin flames in this process of coming home, of getting out of the bipolar control matrix that we find ourselves in. We're in it right now. This is a very important transit for that. That's why I'm calling it the portal. That's why I'm calling it the Venus retro gauntlet. Extremely tied into this movement towards home. And because the counterparts are such an important part of that, I have a feeling that the journey that we're investigating here in the cards is going to contain twin flame information. So, all right. So the first card, of course, we got is the Optical Illusion. Things are not what they seem. Look at this, within a few weeks. So, gosh, within a few weeks would be at the partial solar eclipse, which is the bookend to what's coming. I think this is going to be published Friday. So this will be published on the eclipse. So within a few weeks, what? Tell us. We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. What's coming within a few weeks? Oh my goodness. We got the Crown of Thorns. What does this mean? Wow. This is triumph over evil. This is what pops out at me. The ultimate sacrifice, though. Self-sacrificing, but triumph over evil. Divine love is on here. Yeah, we need more cards. What I love about the Zodiac 180 is there's a variety of words on the cards that sometimes are bipolar. Like you've got divine love and you got self-sacrificing on the same card. Again, when you're reading with the other cards, you're looking at the total energy of all the cards on the table and you know which word fits. So it's like a puzzle piece that you put together. Anakaram, look at this. You guys, this is the divine. It's one of the twin flame cards here. Divine counterparts, soulmates, timeless, unchanging, infinite love. Wow. All right. So I am not wrong. There is something coming through that is very much affecting counterparts Oh, this is so exciting. There's definitely in all of us that are in my inner circle. Whoa, you guys, the Phoenix. Whoa. So the Phoenix, this is exactly what I was going to say, is that my inner circle is all feeling the counterpart pull. It's like some people are feeling the ignition, the reignition of existing people that were calling to them originally, the catalysts. Some people are just feeling new people coming in. They're feeling that energy. We've got the Phoenix. We're in the process of alchemy right now, transmutation. And I love this on this card. The end is just the beginning. Wow. Let's keep pulling cards. These are pretty good ones so far. I'm so glad this is following inner guidance. The last reading I did, it was a solid reading. It had some good messages, but it's kind of like, I knew I was going to get up in the morning. I kind of had, it in my mind that I wanted to create readings. I'm trying to publish Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but I got done and I was kind of like, I'm doing my thing, my daily thing, and I was like, and then my inner being was pushing me, hey, get back on there with some cards with the eclipse. I am so glad I followed that inner prompting. Sap. Sap is resources. This is energy. This is physical health, life force. Life force is on this card. Essence of life. You guys, whatever this period is, it's very potent, is all I can say. And what I want to say, and isn't that interesting? I'm seeing blue on this card. I watched a video from Pam Gregory. My circle was passing it around, and I was feeling into the energies of it. I don't watch a lot of videos. I really don't have a lot of time to watch videos, but I like to find out what's going on out there. So I kind of skim and looking for things. And what came out of that video is, and I'll link that below as well. There is a blue wave that her guest is seeing coming, and it's been seen by a couple of other people. They're thinking it's the end of March, which times it right along with that partial solar eclipse. I've been seeing blue like crazy. Now, you can see in the background, like, I've got a lot of blue. I've never been a blue person, but blue has been coming up really strong. And we got curtain call. I'm just going to continue to show you cards that are coming in. But I had a really interesting experience. This whole blue wave thing is what I feel is upgrading us right now. I feel that some of the forerunners that have been here doing this work, if you're watching this video, you probably are one of them. And this blue wave, I almost feel like that's the exhaustion that we're feeling, like we're already getting. This blue wave is meant to elevate. It's meant to lift us up and to lift the whole collective up in consciousness, so that, John Q. Public will start to say, oh, I never saw this before. I never saw that before. Whereas those of us who are already kind of seeing will just be able to see higher perspectives. And I want to interrupt. I'm going to keep pulling cards, but I think that this is really important. Yesterday, when I was on the treadmill, I was in a different state than I've ever been in. Most of the time, I'm enjoying my music and I'm looking around and I'm connecting with people. It's my time to get out of the house. This is my studio. This is my life right here. I spend a lot of time here. But when I go to the gym, that's the time that, it's more about social. This was different. I was on the treadmill, and I was, all of a sudden, I looked up and everywhere I could see was blue. I'm like, oh my gosh, the blue shorts, the blue cover on that water bottle, the blue mats, the blue seats of the equipment, blue, the TV flashing blue at me. It was taking me through all of these different colors. And, that's another video in and of itself. I was given information on, these colors and what they mean, but the blue was home. It is the sign we're moving towards home, the vibration of home, the frequency of home. And here it is in the blue card. In fact, it was so strange. I even looked down and said, oh my God, I'm wearing a blue shirt. Like I never wear blue. I always wear black to the gym because it makes me feel better. Who doesn't feel that way? High five. But anyway, so the importance of this is it was the universe showing me that the blue energy is that of home. There's a red energy that comes in that is a disruptor. And then there's a yellow energy that is a neutral energy. So when this is an example, so blue is home. If you have neutrality in the direction of home, then you have green, which is like a green light, which is you're on your way, you're in progress. But if you're talking red, red is a disruptor. So red disrupts things. It's a stop sign. If you combine neutrality with a stop, you're getting a pause, you're getting a caution sign. So there's your orange, gold, amber colors. So it was really fascinating. And this went on for 45 minutes, you guys. I was driving home and I'm seeing all the colors of all the signs and I'm going, oh my gosh, home. And then I was shown that white is like really being home. Blue is like the signpost, how you get through to home. But the white was, this is home. This is the light, right? So this was being shown to me as part of an expansion that I feel is happening at this time during this gauntlet, this portal, let's call it a portal, between the two eclipses. So just looking at these cards so far, I'm like, wow, we are headed, I think once we get out of this portal, that we are headed into some really transformed energies because of this blue wave that is headed in. All right, this is a timing card. I'm going to throw that aside, just because I'm not looking for timing, although I do have within a few weeks. All right, you know what? I'm going to take it unchanged, stable. All right, I'm still going to put it to the side, but stable. The situation is stable. So let's think about it as this. We're in this portal. This portal may not be stable for everyone, but if you're tuned into this video, it means you're at a certain frequency. If you're interested in my information, we're at a particular frequency level. You've probably been doing your work. I don't think that this message is for everyone. I don't think this is a general John Q public reading. But if you are listening, you are in a stable position during this portal. Does that make sense? All right. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I knew that as part of this reading, I have had a lot of information coming in that I want to share. And so I'm just letting my inner being share what is pertinent to the collective that's listening. All right. We've got the knot and we've got spilled milk. So there is something here in this portal that is complex. It's very fated. The knot is about fated and it's about holding things together. So, all right. So what I'm picking up on is that those of us going through this gauntlet, this portal, holding this stable, steady energy, that it's a fated connection. This is holding things together. This is creating unbreakable bonds, probably by those of us who are in this energy field. And I want to say that this is an elevated place that's going to benefit others. All right. It's also saying as you're going through this portal, the spilled milk is really about leaving things in the past. And this is what I've been getting. It's like, as you're going through like anything that comes up, you're like, yeah, that's small stuff. That's small stuff. It's not a big deal. This isn't a big deal to me anymore. That's something that I can leave in the past and let go. So that is what I'm getting. Let's see what else. What else have we got about this portal between the two eclipses? Let me know. All right, we got the rubber band. This is meaning you're stretching. There is some resistance. Oh my gosh, think about, all right, I'm getting something else completely. When I said I'm going to do an overhead view, it's like so much information is coming in right now. We can look at an overhead view, but I feel it's more important for me to give you the information as it's coming in and not wait for. Think about a rubber band. When you pull it back and you let go, you rock it, right? This portal is meant to rocket you somewhere. It's meant to really propel you forward. And, going back to, because I'm going to just start looking, uh, eh, this is a really hard thing because I want to have an overhead view so you can see this, but the information's coming in too fast. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. This optical illusion, I was looking at it, and what I was getting about that is it seems like things are really out of control. It seems like the world's going to hell in a handbasket. And that is an optical illusion. That's an optical illusion, especially for as predictive programming too. This is the way the system, the matrix wants you to feel. They want you to feel like everything's out of control and to create fear. But this portal is here for a completely different reason. Yep, the curtain call. The curtain call is the system that's trying to get your attention, that's saying, focus your attention here. You're watching a movie. Are you kidding me? Those of you who have any knowledge or information about like the truther community or the conspiracy theories that are going around and everything, they'll say you're watching a movie. This card is showing you it is absolutely a movie. And we've got all these other energies at play here that you're aware of because you are awake, is what I'm getting. We're in a transformative phase, you guys. That's going to rocket us out of here. Rocket us to new heights of understanding, of perception. And, with Anakaram, I think it's also part of the rebirth, the renewal, the resurrection of that original blueprint. I'm going to keep, it's right next to Anakaram. This is really exciting, you guys. I can't tell you how happy all this information is making me, because it is confirmation of what I've been getting. And it is part of like the conversations that I have with my friends in my circle. All right, let's see what else we got. Come on, we got any more cards coming out from this deck? We might just switch decks. All right, no, we got the mirror. That's about reflection in the mirror. What are you looking at inside of yourself? All right, you're literally looking at self-assessment is what is coming out to me. Self-assessment, self-aware. Awareness is a word that keeps coming to me in every single one of my readings. Awareness is what awakening is. Ascension is awareness. It's conscious awareness of the moment of now and everything that's showing up for you. So this is not just about awareness, but it's self-awareness. So this is the gauntlet, the stepping, the negotiating and navigating, the swinging pendulums. It's an opportunity to look at yourself in the mirror and evaluate where you're at in this process. It's a self-assessment process. And then we got the oak tree. And the oak tree is about stability. It's deep rootedness. It's connected to source. This is your grounding. So, what's interesting is this period of time in this eclipse, I feel that I'm chilling on this. I mean, I'm getting chills all over me that this portal, like I've been thinking about the Venus retro as being the gauntlet, but this is almost like a condensed part of the portal that we're going through. And right in the middle of that, right on March 22nd, I believe it is, we've got the equinox, the spring equinox. And that's like renewal. So there's just renewal. Look at this. Renewal is actually on this card, and that was not something I read. It just came to me. So what else? We got roses. We got romance. We got really, really auspicious love energies here too. This is passion. This is yearning, love, affection, romance, devotion, delighted, friendship. Yeah, this is I say this is one of the most auspicious readings I've done in a while, which makes me feel really relieved because when you're saying the eclipse season, well, I know that the eclipse season is rocketing the world. I mean, you're seeing stuff. Cryptocurrencies are swinging, the stock market's crashing, I mean, we hear all of these things. You've got all these changes happening at the global level. I want to say that's the optical illusion. And within this few weeks period of time, there are those of us that are going to triumph over evil. Let's just talk it evil. Let's let's substitute the word evil and put in the words triumph over deception, self-deception, this this feeling that we have been shrouded in falseness around ourselves, and we're triumphing over that. I know that those words didn't come out very well. It does frustrate me. It's really uncomfortable sometimes when you're in front of the camera and your words are coming out really funky. But that's just me. That's what I'm doing here. Inventor. So we've got some groundbreaking stuff coming through. Breakthroughs in technologies during this period of time might be when some of this stuff is starting to come through. And we have technology, inner technology, and then we have outer technology. Yes, my microphone is still on. I just want to make sure. This is just too good of a reading. I don't want to have a microphone fail for whatever reason. Inspired ideas. This might be you in a very imaginative period. And we've got the olive branch. Okay, the olive branch. This is, okay, suspension. You're in a suspended period of time right now during this portal. It's like, I want to say things are, you're coming to terms with things. Things that you've had going on up until this point, they're winding down. You're coming to a place where you're like, I can let that go. I can make peace with myself. That's what it is, making peace with yourself. This is all about making peace with yourself, leaving it in the past. All right, inspired. I am going to switch over to an overhead view. We're going to look at these cards. We're going to probably pull some more cards. It's just what my inner being's telling me to do, so let's do that now. Okay, so we're at the tabletop view, and I just want to say that the moon that I have here and the sun stone that I have here, I kind of picked those for a reason, but I can tell you I have not charged this moon in a long time, so I have no idea. If it goes out during it, I don't know if that's an omen or what. All right, so I wanted you to see the overhead view because we've already touched on a lot of these cards, but we're going to go ahead and really look at like the placement of the cards and what might be, relating to what. So the reason why I like to show the tabletop is because different cards relate to each other. And there's a lot of things that jump out at me in this reading. The first thing that I see is the placement in the central card as being everything is faded that's happening right now. So you may see this period of time as a riddle to solve this complex situation of this thing called life, your life. This is the struggle that you faced, right? This is the stuff that has tied you up in knots, but it's also the things that hold you together. And this portal seems to be a lot about getting you from this complex situation to breaking you out of it and launching you into new energy. And the way you get there is by leaving things in the past, deciding what is not worth looking at because it's too small. It's too small. Like, in other words, you might find yourself having very small reactions to things that used to really set you off because you're seeing it as small stuff now. You're like, ah, don't sweat the small stuff. Let's leave that in the past. We can clean that up, let that go. That's so critical to being able to, I want to say, break through a breaking point. It's pushing past a resistance point, which is what the rubber band symbolizes. We also have, look at, we are talking about ready to release, ready to launch. Where are we launching? We're launching into transformation. We're rising from the ashes of the old. It's almost as if, and here we are at the beginning of the age of Aquarius. It's like the end is just the beginning. So when you get to the end of this portal, it's really just the beginning of where you're headed. Now, I want to say, because Anakaram is next to the Phoenix, we're also talking about this being a transmutation that has a lot to do with love, unconditional love, romance, soulmates. And it does seem to me, look at this, we do have another card that's placed that says love and romance. So love and romance is a heavy hitter when it comes to this particular transit, is that we're making some renewal, some transformations and alchemy out of maybe unideal situations into more aligned situations for us. The other auspicious combination here is we've got another love card, which is the love and the romance, and we've got permanence, stability, longevity, deeply rooted. So we're moving in the right direction of, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure you'd agree, in terms of love and romance during this portal, we're moving more towards a longer stability with romance and relationship. But it does require us to go through this period of time of self-awareness. Let's assess where are we triggered more than others? Where are we feeling nicked by that gauntlet? Maybe we're not getting nicked by the gauntlet at all, and we're becoming aware of how much we've changed. Maybe we're even getting some appreciation for ourselves. Wow, look at how much I've changed. We're making comparisons. This is how I was in the past. This is how I am now. Maybe we were in ego and insecurity before, but we've moved into self-love. So we're evaluating that during this period of time. Okay, so in the complex situation, these two, it's like, oh, here's blue, 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 blue. Do you see what I'm saying? Blue, blue, and there's blue in here. The blue is jumping out at me. It's like, I'm beginning to understand how much colors have to do with sending us signals in the matrix. And yeah, I just felt I needed to point that out. I'm not really sure why. And maybe you're supposed to get an activation to look for blue as well, as confirmation of the blue wave coming in for you. I don't know, but it's popping out at me left, right, and center, and it's a little distracting. So forgive me. But what I was talking about is this complex situation being an optical illusion. It is the central point of dismantling the old way of doing things, the old way of being. We're making the changes in ourselves, right? The changes are being made at a soul level. So there's a kind of a mirage that there's complex situation going on, and yet at the same time, we know that we have been in a complicated situation. It feels like the complication, especially in the outer world, is really still there. Or maybe you're feeling it in your life. Maybe you are feeling the pressure of it. Maybe you are feeling this, the difficulties, or you're feeling struggles with the energies. But this is a reminder that it is an optical illusion. It's happening for your benefit, not to you, to hurt you. And the curtain call is telling you to focus your attention on the fact that you're watching a movie, that this is something that I want to say you've written this. I always call it the exit script, but I feel like this is part of the exit script that we're going through right now. This portal is part of the exit script, and it's already lined up for you. It's already lined up to help you get out of whatever trials and tribulations you've had going on, and it would be helpful for you to see it as this is a almost like you're acting. This is you are the actor in your movie. You're watching the movie. You're seeing yourself go through these steps. But there's a way to remove yourself from feeling like it's dire because no one's really afraid while they're watching a movie. You might feel the tension and the stress or the pressure. If it's a horror movie, you cover your eyes, you cover your ears, you don't want to hear the screaming, whatever it is, but you still know you're watching a movie. And it's an observation rather than being in the middle of it, although some of us can put ourselves in that movie pretty strongly. But this period of time is really about getting you to a place where your vitality returns, your life force returns, your physical health. All of this is your essence of life, the life force. This portal is really, really helping that. And what it's saying is it's coming in within a few weeks, and the portal is stable. It's unlikely, it's unlikely to be like, I want to say like way up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, or things seem great, things seem bad. Maybe this is the message to you, if that's what you're experiencing, is to understand that this portal is still stable. Like you can feel the polarity within stability. You just realize, and I'll give you a perfect example. I talk about crypto because I have some, and I am feeling, even though the markets are swinging like crazy and my particular crypto are going up and down, up and down, I'm not watching it because I'm feeling that within the swing that there's stability. There's no crash. There's just a swing. And it's going to swing up and it's going to swing down and it's going to swing up and it's going to swing down. There's stability in that. You know that it's not going to crash. You might even be sure that it's not going to take off and do anything amazing. It's going to trade sideways. That's still stability. You can look at it differently. You can sit there and go, oh, it's crashing. Oh, it's going up. You can engage in that. But this reading is saying the offer of this portal is stability, and it's moving towards some really incredible transformation and moving us forward. So, all right. I think what I'd like to do at this time is to go ahead. I'm going to keep all these cards so that I can refer to them. Gosh, tonight, tomorrow, the next day. Probably take a snapshot of these so that I have them. But what I want to do is I like to go in and confirm or see if there's additional information from a different type of energy. I'm going to use the Intuit Oracle, which is one of my favorite decks. It's so funny. These two decks, I can't live without these two decks. I'm just saying. All right. So the first card I got is Gears. All right. So we got the Gears. This is progress. This is progress. This is ideas in action. Interesting. We've also got the red herring. Okay. The red herring to me is a parallel to the optical illusion. Misleading information, throwing you off the scent. Look here, not there. It's purposeful distraction. So be aware that there is probably what you're seeing is trying to divert you from your stability. Okay, I'm going to keep this stable card handy because I do think that was the main message of that card, is to concentrate on the stability of the situation. And there's a good chance that you're going to get misleading information. They're going to try to misguide you. They're going to try to throw you off the scent. And what do I mean by they? I'm meaning the Matrix. That means anyone who's still trying to hold on to this crazy place. Magnifying glass. So this is asking you to examine the fine print. These things may seem larger than life and exaggerated because it's right next to the red herring. But, instead of just automatically assume, gain clarity on what you're looking at. Gain clarity. What else? Oh, and I'm also seeing smooth transition. Smooth transition. And there's no word transition in there, but I'm still seeing it. Okay, I'm also getting light codes. Light codes are coming in during this period of time. So, And it could be someone exceptional, like you're interacting with someone very special. There's good chemistry between you. But this for me feels soul spark and light codes. This portal is really for personal transformation. It is going to bring you closer to a counterpart situation because it's getting you in that frequency and alignment. But then I got the man, and the man is your person. Okay. Whoever that person is. It doesn't have to be. This could be anyone in your life that holds masculine energy, because this is a masculine card. It doesn't have to be a man, but it is the man card. So remember when I said someone exceptional and I said, I was reading the Soul Spark Light codes? Guess what? That shifts and changes because the man shows up right next to it. So during this period of time, you're probably having some kind of connection with a masculine that you're close to, boyfriend, love interest, and they're exceptional. Maybe there's some light codes being exchanged there. Maybe there's chemistry between you and a person. This is why I like the tabletop views, because I like you to see how these cards all relate to each other. The way this deck is designed, well, the way most decks are designed in the Intuit family of cards is, we read 2-card pairs, collections of cards. That's kind of comes from the Lenormand style of reading, and the Intuit Oracle was based on Lenormand. So that's what I'm using right now, and that's reading in 2-card pairs. The way Kimberly did it was she did 26 cards or 36 cards from the original Lenormand deck, and then she did 2-card pairs and created objects and meanings for those. All of this without having to memorize anything or look up anything in a book, which once I got this deck in my hands, I never used any other cards. I mean, I could for different reasons, but so much information comes through. We got the hummingbird. So again, lifting out of negativity and lightness of being. This is the purpose of this portal. I'm positive, is to help us find that, and be present. Be present. We cannot help but be in the present moment as we go through this. All right, let's see. Look at this. All right, I want you to see this and witness what I'm saying. This is another phoenix. This is a different deck. It's an animal card in our Intuit Oracle deck. We got the phoenix a second time. If this is not giving you confirmation that this portal between the 2 eclipses is about complete renewal and transformation, I don't know what to tell you. It sure is making me feel really happy inside, because that's what I thought. Rising up from the ashes. This is catalytic heart awakening too. The golden ticket. The golden ticket is once in a lifetime, something special. I have been feeling that this period of time is our once in a lifetime. It is going to be one of those things that is one of the most memorable up leveling that we had. And it's blue. Just saying, I'm seeing the blue. I'm also seeing green, home. You're on the right track. We're going home. Here's another flavor of blue. But yeah, this is our major opportunity to level up, people. This is a turning point. Then I got uprooted. This is a radical break from the past. This is a makeover. This is complete forced change through this portal. It is transplanting us from one place to another. Wow. I'm telling you what, I am so glad I listened to my higher self and decided to do this reading. We also got more blue. This is island. All right. So I want to feel into the energy of this. First of all, water. Water, I've been getting it for the longest time. Water is the way out. And I got this a long time ago in a call. It was one of those conference calls where a bunch of people are on, and we were talking about how we've been so scheduled, so programmed to fear water. We're afraid of drowning. We're afraid of, no one wants to get on a boat and think about it capsizing, drowning, and all of that stuff. But the truth is that when I hear that water is the way out, I'm thinking rebirth, the birth canal. You go through you're in the waters. You're actually in water. You're breathing water. There's no fear of water. Protected. protected and safe. In this particular case, for all the other cards I'm getting, is that this blue wave, this way home, this water, it is going to feel like you're going solo. All right. You will feel a little bit like you might feel a little bit separated off from the crowd. You don't feel like this is a period of time, maybe for the crowd. And I'm checking my microphone again. Yes, it's still working. Thank goodness. But you're protected. You're protected. You're actually in a more independent state than you've ever been. All right. This card is called Island, but that's not what I was seeing when I saw the card. I just saw the water. But Island is, you might feel a little bit separated from the herd. You're standing in your own power. You might feel like you're the only real person in the room sometimes. I know I do. I'm like, are any of these people even real? Like I don't know. It's the nature of reality for me right now. It's just the nature of reality. It's this disconnected from the collective, and yet not being scared of it. Wow, we've got another transformation card, the butterfly. That's about metamorphosis, embrace change. You're rising up. You're reinventing yourself. You guys, look at these two cards. Look at these two cards. The colors. Got the blue, green, and the yellow. That's home. That's home, going into a neutral space. The reason why yellow is neutral is that when you're in neutral, you're not in polarity. So yellow is a very powerful card. Look at all the yellow in this reading, you guys. Look at the yellow. The main golden ticket is about being neutral. The light coming from the Phoenix is yellow. There is yellow in here. There is yellow in here. It's amazing to me now how the colors pop out at me as being so significant, and it's giving me more information about this. So you guys, I'm absolutely over the moon. Haha, like pun intended. No, actually it wasn't intended, but wow. This portal is something else. And it starts soon. Well, when you see this, it will have started. It will have started. So I think there is one other question I do want to ask once we're done with getting these cards. Oh my gosh, the dolphins. You guys, I haven't seen so much auspicious information coming through in cards since I can remember. I don't remember getting this many auspicious cards. Dolphin, it's about being in collaboration, in tune with others, communicating, playfulness, happy energy. Very happy, happy energy. Woo! Powerful portal. Can't be happier. We got the stallion. This is breaking free. This is unleashing your inner beast. It's a driving force. That's like the energy of the rubber band as far as I'm concerned. Now, we do have the energy of the squirrel, and I tend to think of this as being maybe not the most positive energy, like when I think of the squirrel, but when I tune in now and I'm seeing energetic, what I'm getting is, well, I need to, a minute, hang on a second, because I'm getting some information coming in. Okay, so the squirrel is prepared for anything, and the squirrel can move quickly in any direction. And I think that for a long time, we've been sludging through it. We've been going through sludge, right? The energy of this portal and where we're headed with this portal is going to give us the ability to move quickly in directions, like respond quickly. Like, a squirrel will move out of the way faster. If there's a nut it wants, it'll look at it very carefully, and then it'll go get it, and it takes it off, and it'll disappear real fast. And that this energy is something that you're going to be able to access, the positive energies of the squirrel. Mostly being prepared for anything. Like, you're going to feel more empowered. And here you go. That's sort of confirmation of that when we get the archer, because the archer says you're on target, you're shooting straight, you've got precision, right? You're precision, you're direct, you're quick. We've got the quick, and we've got the quick. Now, this could also mean that this period of time flies by quickly for you. It could mean that you're quick to catch on to what's happening, like that, prepared for anything. Wow, you guys. All right. Let me see where I want to go from here. Okay. I think there's one other thing that I want to do. I want to ask the deck. I'm trying to think of which one I'm asking. I think I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the Intuit Oracle again. I want to ask if there's any advice that you, the viewer, needs to get through this period of time. I mean, I think we've already gotten a lot of information that, things are really positive and good, but I want to ask, what advice do we have for the viewer, for me, anyone watching? Um, we'll pull 5 cards. We don't need to make it a huge spread, but the bottom of the deck, that to know that this is magical power, this new event that's happening is an omen, I think, for where things are going, where things are going from now on. I feel like the memories part of this card is really, it's going to feel like a past life. That's what I'm getting. It's like you're going to remember everything that has happened up to this point, but you're almost going to feel like something's changed so drastically that you can think before the eclipse and after the eclipse. That's what's coming in. All right, what does the viewer need to know? All right, this is the warning. What is the complications and serious issues, please? We've got the red flag, which is saying this is a heads up. What do we need a heads up for? What's the problem? What do we need to know? Some things will persist to work against you. And if it does, persistence is going to pay off. So be aware that when things seem to work against you, just keep going. There's new things on the horizon, probably after the portal, and that this is a process of making things, making your dreams real. In other words, this is a bridge you have to cross in order to make your dreams real. And be prepared for that. Okay, this right here, instead of being a third person, a lot of times this comes up in relationships as another person. And I'm not saying that that's not a possibility or that you might find yourself in a love triangle, but that's not what I'm getting for this card. In this particular situation, I want to say that there is an outside party that is trying to rain on your parade, that is trying to maybe be the disruptor. And this is not a reflection of the deck, but I see the red in this card, which is making me say disruption. There may be some disruptions. Look at what we got here. Hello, red flag. So I'm not wrong in that I'm getting, during this period of time, be aware that there might be other people's energies that are trying to create issues. This is a disruption through your, and I will say this, I'm a big believer in projections. So if something like that comes up, it's really another thing that you have to kind of deal with and clear, but persist, push through it, because it will pay off. In other words, it's part of your portal. It's part of your portal. Keep on going. Persistence pays off. Tracks. Go the distance. I think I can. You're on track. You're making steady forward movement. So, all right, let's just see if there's one more card. One more card that wants to come out that gives us advice for the viewer on making their way through this eclipse portal. We got the birds, and the birds say that there is possibility in communications that you might have a little bit of nervous energy. You might be debating some things, right? You might be debating. It's interesting because I just did a video. It would have been recorded on Wednesday. If you haven't seen it, you might want to check it out. It's talking about healing competition. I'm picking up 2 people communicating, maybe debating over where they think things are going, right? We've got blue here, though. We've got blue and green. And we've also got some orange, which is that amber, which is take pause. There's caution here. You may have some communication issues with people, but and it's in the same vein, you might be making contact with some new people that have something to do with communicating with some people that, and they might be new, that are moving you forward. But definitely be prepared. The red flag is telling, it's so interesting, isn't it? What do you need to know, viewer? And I'm sitting here getting a red flag. Keep going. If you find yourself getting into debates, go watch my video on the competition, because that will help you. That's probably a good way to prepare for this portal, or this eclipse, just to have that information on that communication. So I'm gonna put that in the link below too, in the description box. But yeah, you may have, well, another person involved. Boom, another person involved. You might get in some debates. All of this is pushing you forward. So everything, it may feel like, and there's the optical illusion, it may feel like things are working against you, but persistence, keep going, are going to pay off. I think I will leave that reading there. Wow. I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am by that reading. That was one of the most powerful readings that I've done in a long time. I don't think it can get any more clear than that. I'm like almost speechless, and that doesn't happen very often. If you watch my channel, you know that I can talk. For those of you who watch my channel on a regular basis, you'll know that I have talked about doing a video with Hamish Bartholomeus. I just want to tell you, the energies have been too intense for us to do it. And we always know when the timing is right for our videos. We kind of consider them as ripples in the pond, and it's just not time for that ripple. So I apologize that we have not been able to do that video. We will be doing a video just as soon as we feel a signal call from the universe to do that. But we really have been working on looking at the bigger picture in how we wrap up this nightmare circus and get back to a place of neutrality rather than this bipolar, I don't even know what to call it anymore. I use the word dystopian nightmare circus. That kind of covers it, but not really. It's the polarity right now is so intense, it's palatable. But what I feel, and I think is reflected in this reading, is so many of us have done a lot of work to get to this place. And in doing that, we get to go through this portal, this birthing canal, this process. And then, oh, I just thought of this. Okay, so we get through the eclipse, and right as we get to the end of the birthing canal, we get the water. The water breaks. We're being birthed. Guys, I could be completely wrong, but I think this is probably one of the biggest leveling up periods that we have seen in our lifetime, no matter how much we think we've been growing, that this is going to catapult us to brand new levels. And I cannot wait to share this experience with you and go through it with you. If you have enjoyed my community and you like this kind of reading or the videos that I create, please think about subscribing, following the channel so that you get the videos that I release. I've made it my mission to allow my higher self to show up in ways that I think are needed for whatever collective is watching my readings. I, of course, would love your help and assistance in growing the channel for anyone that you feel resonates. I'm not looking to become a big channel. I'm looking for the people that need the messages that I have. So if you have friends, family members, soul tribe that you feel will benefit from this reading, please forward it to them, and encourage them to become part of this community. We can all put our heads together and we can plow through this and we can get to the other side. And then when we get through the birthing canal, we can have some real fun. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, why don't you go ahead and put a little comment, made it through. You're a trooper. Because I love to know how many people actually get through the whole thing. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.